What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you the top 10 wide receivers in the 2023 NFL draft class. So this is a bit way too early, but I want to show what we have right now because I've dug deep into this class, and I want to be able to compare it to what we're going to be doing in just about 300 days when we have the 2023 official grades. So very excited to see about this. If you guys do love this type of content, feel free to stick around. I appreciate you guys have been supporting me for the past couple months, and I know over the past month has been a little bit crazy. Got moving going on, full-time job. Honestly, not a lot of draft content because you know what? It's not fair to make you guys have BS content because again, you guys sub to me because you guys actually like my content, and I'm not going to bullshit you by dropping my standards. That's just not how I work. So I appreciate you guys for not just ditching shit because I want to uphold my standards. I'm not going to be making BS videos. If I see something that's cool, I'll do something about it. But I'm going to be giving you guys stuff that I think I want my name on. And I'm proud of you guys for being able, or I'm thankful for you guys for just being proud of me for sticking to my standards. Let's kick this off though, because this is not your standard ranking list. It is quite insane. I already know within the first two slides, I'm going to be getting shit on by a lot of people, but that is a-okay. But the first slide, I don't think is much of a surprise. These are official grades, by the way. Kayshon Boutté is my #1 wide receiver. As long as he can stay healthy, as long as he can catch the ball, that's the big thing. He had a 4 out of 10 in hands. Like, this guy could be legitimately a top tier wide receiver. And you'll see that 76.0 is #1. I'm pretty sure last year my #1 was like an 81.5 or 80.5. Like, there is a bit of a talent drop from last year's top to this year's top, but there are some really good players in this class, good role players for sure. But Kayshon Boutté, I really do like him. Solid enough frame. You know, obviously 190 is not exactly like the most perfect thing. That's a nitpick. He's obviously not going to be the guy. He's not going to be who's going to be coming up very soon, Xavier Hutchinson, when it comes to contested catch game, who is an absolute mauler. But when you look at Kayshon Boutté's route running, it is spectacular, super smooth. Sometimes I want him to run a little bit sharper, but hey, again, there's only so much that you can nitpick when it comes to these wide receivers, because again, the NFL is very fluid. If he's taken to the right scheme, at the end of the day, most of the time scheme matters even more than positional or player value. But regardless, Kayshon Boutté is an absolute stud. Again, he's actually really good after the catch. Again, very fluid mover, probably the best in the class. And, you know, I really love, I love guys with good release packages because that just shows technicality, and it requires a lot of focus, a lot of training, a lot of devotion to be able to develop something that not a lot of college receivers have, because honestly, they don't really need it. So when you see somebody like Kayshon Boutté, like last year, George Pickens had a beautiful release package. That to me raises their value almost a full round. So I really do like what Kayshon Boutté could bring to the table. I don't think, well, with injury concerns happening and him not having the biggest frame, I think he could be falling a little bit. And I think a team like the Chargers could want to do a trade up. Again, Keenan Allen not going to be there forever. Kayshon Boutté could be a really nice addition. Don't take the team projections too seriously. I don't think the Chargers are going to be in the top 15, but it's kind of like a wishful projection. I don't know. I could see him being on a lot of teams, but I really do love his best impact on the Chargers. #2, we got Xavier Hutchinson here. Yeah, I told you guys I can hit shit for this. He's technically wide receiver 1A or 1B. And I'll say this right now, because I know a lot of people are probably going down the comment section. This is more of a plug time. I do have a website. Go down and link in the description, or go to my Twitter. I have it pinned on my profile. I am doing, in a nutshell, scouting reports. These are scouting reports you can read within 3 minutes. You get the good, the bad, the ugly, and you get to see my full grading breakdown to see how the hell did Xavier Hutchinson get a 76. His isn't out yet, but you definitely need to check him out. I got Bryce Young as well as CJ Stroud already up, and you guys know my opinion on CJ Stroud. I'm in the middle between the hate and the love, and you know what? You guys can read all about it right there. But again, Xavier Hutchinson, great build, 6'3", 210. He is a fluid mover. Brochmo and I don't see eye to eye on this guy at all. I've been a huge fan of him for over the past year now. He was down on my watch tier. I really do think he's a very fluid mover. He does look a little bit smaller than 6'3", 210 though. But again, even if he's 6'1", 200, I just love how fluid he is as an athlete. And again, I think he could be running the 4.4s. Brochman says like 4.55. I think he's more like 4.44. I really 4.44. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, his hands rock solid. A lot of guys in his class have drop issues, and I do think that he could definitely just totally uplift the franchise. I will say he's not going to get drafted very highly. That's just the truth. But I do think a team like the Falcons could really use somebody who has this type of build, this type of skill set. I love what Xavier Hutchinson can bring to the table. I will say I have a thing for release packages, and Xavier does not have one. Just that's the unfortunate thing. And he tries a lot after the catch. I feel it's a lot like Alec Pierce, where you see it, but it just doesn't come into form. So I hope the best for him. And again, that frame, I don't know. I think they might be lying a little bit about that height and weight. Or I know Iowa State has just a shit ton of large dudes on the field. So you never know. Number 3, you got Jordan Addison here. People are going berserk based off of my number 3, number 4 build. But you guys, again, feel free. Maybe in like, if you want to see my scouting reports on wide receivers, I'll be putting them up probably within the next week or starting to. You guys will get to see why the grading scale is the way it is. I do focus a lot on run after the catch because a lot of times there are guys who are built for a certain role that is run after the catch heavy. And, you know, when you look at teams like the Dolphins, you know, Jalen Waddle's a stud. Forget him. But there are guys who are very good after the catch that make their role that way. I mean, even if you look at Isaiah McKenzie, he's a top tier talent because of the fact that he's really good after the catch, has a good role planned out for him wherever he's going to go. Regardless, Jordan Addison is a stud. That's also why he's above. I'm bugging Jaxon Smith-Njigba, who's going to be next. Don't worry. I don't hate Jaxon Smith-Njigba. But Jordan Addison, he has a really thin frame, but he's been able to produce and he's stayed healthy given his size. So, you know, it's just a little bit worrisome when the hits get heavier, the guys get bigger. Obviously, he's not going to be a contested catch dude, but hey, really solid route runner. And, you know, the after the catch ability speaks for itself. Solid tracking down the field. You know, it says good athlete there, but that's what I want to say. I didn't think he was actually as good of an athlete as people think he is. People think he's running like the 4.3s, 4.2s. I can see him running like maybe low 4.4s. I don't think he's actually that good. I think he's just a really smooth athlete that is able to change speed properly. And I think that that's going to be a big plus for him. A team like the Titans could use somebody who's a nice gadget weapon like that. Again, losing A.J. Brown, now you got Treylon Burks there, Robert Woods. I think he'd be a really good guy just to get the ball into his hands and just continue lighting it up. Excited for what he does on USC this year. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, you know, again, I'm thinking that he goes top 15. I will just say I do think he's 4.55 plus. That means 4.55 to 4.6. I don't really get the hype on him. You know, he is really phenomenal when he tracks the ball. He bailed CJ Stroud out multiple times, and he's really good one-on-one. He has a role in the NFL 100%. And you look at this, the rating, it's not like I hate him. I have him like as I got probably a number 2, maybe a number 3 wide receiver. And again, he produced as a number 1. So cheers to him. But again, he's a slot only. I don't see the athletic build, not athletic build. I don't see the top tier athleticism that I'm looking for. But, you know, again, you guys know me. When you have a good release package, you have good hands, you are built to be in the NFL. Definitely feels a lot like a George Pickens moment right there. Also very solid after the catch, given the fact that he doesn't have very good athleticism overall. But also another thing, I didn't see very much separation on his routes. Like I didn't get that vibe where he was just totally separating because of his technical skills. So when you go after JSN, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it. I still think he's going to go in the top 15. It's not like I'm saying he shouldn't be. I'm just saying that I personally wouldn't take him there. Again, he's a big slot and he's only 6 foot, but I just genuinely don't think that he is as good as the 2 wide receivers. Actually, I think I have JSN graded 0.25 points above Chris Olave. So I think he's better than maybe Chris Olave, but maybe a bit worse than Garrett Wilson. Overall, they fit different roles. Number 5, I got Zay Flowers here. He's an absolute stud. Really big fan of what Zay Flowers can bring to the table. He just totally toasted Andrew Booth. The whole entire reason I didn't like Andrew Booth is because of Zay Flowers. I liked Andrew Booth. I had a second on him, but like Zay Flowers is way better than people are giving him credit for. You know, he is, I think, 2 inches shorter and 2 pounds heavier than Jordan Addison. So, you know, like the frame is okay. Nothing great. Obviously, you're not going to be throwing one-on-one balls to him. And it's actually really entertaining because I say not great rack here, not great run after the catch ability. That I take the technician part of that. You know, you can run fast in a straight line. That you have your own category for that. I'm talking about the skill to break tackles. I didn't see it with Zay. That's really intriguing to me. I thought he was a lot better as just a pure wide receiver than as a gadget player. So really do think that he could totally be a legit wide receiver in the NFL. And again, get the release kit in there. And I do like the basis pretty much off of my grading scale, because I do think a grading scale should be in effect. Again, grading scales are never perfect. That's why I'm still kind of like perfecting mine. We'll see how it worked out last year, but I realized that run after the catch should matter a lot more than certain things like contested catch ability, because not everybody's going to have that. And just because you can't contest a catch doesn't mean you're a bad wide receiver. But if you can't make a play after you catch the ball, you're probably not a great wide receiver. But yeah, Zay Flowers is super solid overall. A huge fan of what he can bring to the table. Team like the Ravens, where you're trying to replace Hollywood Brown, would love someone like Zay Flowers. Quentin Johnston's next. I do love Quentin Johnston. He's big. I think he's going to be running like maybe low 4.5s. Going to push him probably out of the first round. Generally, that's just what happens. Treylon Burks was just more of like a panic decision more than anything, I believe. But regardless, I mean, I like Treylon Burks. I'm just saying, in general, usually when you're a big guy and then you don't run that fast, not exactly what's going to happen. But I actually really like Quentin Johnston. He's not very good after the catch. And, you know, when he runs his routes, he's obviously not getting the separation that you'd hope for, like Alec Pierce did. But I mean, overall, the guy's a stud. I really did. I was surprised by how much I like Quentin Johnston. I really did like him. Again, release package, love that. But, you know, I really did think Quentin Johnston was a beast, and his contested catch ability is top tier as well. You know, he definitely brings enough to the table. Really do like what he can bring. Next, we got Jermaine Burton here. So Broshmo and I both really like Jermaine Burton. He has him a lot higher than I do, but, you know, he could definitely take a huge step this year. Really good deep threat overall. Didn't really like his route running. Just didn't. But, you know, he's so raw that could easily become developed, like we saw with Jameson Williams this year. So I'm excited to see what Jermaine Burton brings to the table. But again, 6 foot, 200 pounds, it's a solid frame. There's Kayshon Boutté plus 10 pounds, and he's still really damn fast. So I'm excited to see what Jermaine Burton can do. And I think a team like the Colts could really use him as another wide receiver to add into the mix, just to add more and more weapons there for Matt Ryan. So number 8, we got Josh Downs. Probably a lot of people love Josh Downs. I do too. Look at the grades. You know, the difference between him and Jaxon Smith-Njigba is 1.25. Again, this is a pretty tight class. But Josh Downs is a gadget player as well. This draft grade doesn't mean everything, because, again, people score very similar scores, totally different ways. Josh Downs, another elite athlete, but drops the ball a shit ton. Obviously, you're not going to throw contested catches to a 180-pound target. And again, I didn't really see him breaking tackles after the catch the way that I really wanted him to. Josh Downs he's more of a route runner than anything. Like, I do think he's a legit wide receiver rather than just a gadget player. So I think a team like Washington, they're continuing to just build around Carson Wentz, assuming that Carson Wentz doesn't perform the way that they'd probably hope for him to. You can see Sam Howell try to take a step in. And at that point, you could have Josh Downs and De'Ami Brown building your roster around a quarterback with guys who he's comfortable with. Just kind of like a cool fit right there. Number 9, we got Rakim Jarrett here. So, obviously this guy's absolute cheeks in terms of contested catches. You look at the percentage, it's absolutely god awful. And I didn't like him as a route runner, but he's super good as an athlete. And, I think he's pretty damn solid after the catch. He pops off on tape. And again, 6 foot, 200 pounds, very solid. I don't have that high of a grade on him. Again, the score is good because of the athleticism. That's why it's hard to give guys a poor grade, because you're not going to say they're sucky at. You can't totally blow someone out of the water when they scored, let's just say 16 out of the 20 points in a category not many people score well in. That's the only problem with the grading scale, to be honest with you. I would probably take Rakim at the 4th, maybe the 5th. He has a lot of talent and he's very versatile overall. You can see him take snaps, even as a running back, if I'm not mistaken. He's on the boundary, can play in the slot as well. Team like the Cowboys, obviously you lost Cedric Wilson to the Dolphins. Could be a guy who you want to put in there. I don't know. Just fun idea for you guys. But sticking to Maryland, Dontay Demus ends it off. I don't really like him overall. He has a nice top speed, but the guy is just slow off the line. And the NFL is within 2 to 3 seconds. You got to get that separation. I'm not really confident in that. I'm not a huge fan of the wide receiver class overall, to just be blunt. I looked at guys like A.T. Perry as well. For you guys who are saying, where's A.T. Perry at? He scored he scored in the 60s as well. So he's not too far behind Dontay Demus. If I'm not mistaken, he was number 11, like right behind. A.T. Perry he's actually pretty fun to watch. So definitely would consider putting him above Dontay Demus here, but the score remains. But yeah, I mean, also Dontay Demus got hurt this year. There are health concerns. Overall, this class in general, I'm not very excited for it. You have some good players, but nobody looks like a legit franchise wide receiver one. I'm a bit worried about that, to be 100% frank with you guys. But I think Xavier Hutchinson and Kayshon Boutté have the best chance. Legitimately, I really do think my 1 and 2 have the best chance out of everybody. But let me know what you guys think. I know this is not your list, but it is mine. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.